Hello, it's Lynn with Crafting Break again for the third and final card from the Christmas in July that I did. And we're using Tractor Company, which is the stamp set right here. And it comes with a set of dies, a ton of dies in here. So you can either stamp a tractor and cut it out, you can just die cut the pieces, you can just stamp and not use the dies, a ton of options. And the fun thing, and a lot of people have been noticing this, is, you know, there's these corn stalks with the corn, ears of corn, and the die makes it almost look like Christmas lights. So you could actually use those as Christmas lights on your card. So here is the card we're making, the last one. And you can see I didn't do any stamping. It's really all paper piecing together. So a lot of pieces went into this, and I will assemble the tractor with you so you can see how it's done. I got a little something on there. And then a little sticky thing. And then we'll put the card together. Okay, so first let me start with, we have this pool party card base, and I'm taking the little snow that was in the Jar of Joy stamp set, and I'm just going to stamp some snow randomly. Now, you can't see it completely. I don't know if you can kind of, oh, so much. Let me see if you can see that. I'm trying to like look up. You see that? You can see the snow on there if you angle it just right. And this is a very small stamp, but you're just going to keep going and covering most of the card base. And just keep holding it up to see how well you're getting it covered. I'm not going to waste your time and stamp all of that. I went ahead and did one card base ahead of time. And you can hopefully see that snow on there that I stamped all over. And I went about a little more than halfway down, I would say. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is I have these two pieces of basic white. One is taller than the other. And we're going to rip them to create the snowbanks, if you will. And I like the rip effect because it looks like snow, an edge of snow. So because I'm right-handed, I'm going to rip towards me because that's going to expose the ripped edge. If you are left-handed, you would rip away from, no, you could still rip towards you. I guess it depends how you want to. Either way, if you rip it the opposite direction, flip it over and you've got your sheet. Okay, so there's one. Let's get the smaller one. And the slower you go, the more exposed cardstock you'll get. The faster you go, you won't really get that. So I tend to go a little slow. And you can see when we line those up, we'll have some cute snowbanks there. Okay, the fun part, assembling the tractor. Let me dump all these pieces out. This is ultimately what we're making right here, is this tractor. So I'm going to set these trees aside because I already took some from another kit. Let's start with the tires. Actually, let's start with everything we're going to glue so it has time to dry. So I'm going to put the little seat up here. I'm going to turn this over for the little steering wheel and exhaust pipe. And then here's the, I don't even know what you call that, the top of the tractor. And I have this tiny little glue bottle that I put my white liquid glue in. And I'm going to use a pair of reversible tweezers. This is my best friend when trying to put together small pieces, and you want really small dots of glue. Now you can see I maybe got a little bit more than I wanted. The best thing about the silicone mat is nothing sticks to it, so you can take some of that glue off and put it right on your silicone mat. Oops, let's get that down. I'm trying to get that centered there. Okay, there's one. Let's use my little reverse tweezers to get this one up. And while I'm doing that, actually, let me put a couple little dots here So this has time to dry just ever so slightly before I put it on. This white glue, if you let it sit for a little while, it gets a little gummy. And so when you go to glue down your pieces, it won't ooze out on you. Oh, I forgot to put glue on the wheel. Let's do that. Even with this tiny applicator, sometimes the glue comes out a little more than I want. Okay, looks pretty good. Okay, now I'm going to pick up this piece. And you can see, I don't know, hopefully, there's fuzz. The glue is starting to get clear there a little bit. Hopefully you could see that. I'm not sure how close I got, if it even went in focus. There you go. So now when I go to put it down, it's not going to ooze out everywhere. And then this is literally how I put the rest of it together. Pick up that and pick up the seat. And there we go. That part of the tractor is done. Now for the tires. I really don't know if there's a right or wrong way to do this. This is just how I built them. I'm sure there's other methods out there. But I just put a little bit of glue up here on where the I don't even know what these things are called. They're not hubcaps, but whatever these are. And I lined this edge to this edge right here. Now, whether that's right or wrong, I have no idea, but that's just what I did to build mine. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one, this bottom edge to that bottom edge. There we go. And the nice thing about this, when it dries, you just take the glue off and you can keep reusing this silicone mat over and over again. Okay, now we have the tires to put on. See, not so bad, right? Okay, let's do the same thing and put some glue dots, or not glue dots, but some dots of glue back here. And let's pick up some tires. Oops, let's not bend that. And I really just eyeballed it and said, okay, that looks good. And then I want this tire to be, I didn't glue it on so straight, so let's put that to the top. I want that tire to be about the same level at the bottom as that one. Let's pick it up. And there we go, tractor's done. Let's move that out of the way. So you can see I've got some glue on the back here and cat fur as usual. And I want to make sure this doesn't come apart. And I don't think it will, but I'm going to strategically put my dimensionals over some parts where I glued it together. And so again, I'm probably going to use a lot of dimensionals. Actually 4, that's not too bad. I'm going to put one more right there. Why not? And now, I'm going to put one more. Don't laugh at me. Oops, I got 2. Well, darn. Might as well put one more right here. How many did I use on that one? Oh, see, not as many. Okay, so let me cap this glue off so it doesn't dry out. All right. I went ahead and stamped Season's Greetings and die cut it out, and I've already die cut out the trees. So that part is done. I didn't want to shake the table. So with our card base, I'm going to go ahead, actually before I do that, let me reach over here. I want to pick up some glue dots on my trees so I can put them down as soon as I glue my snowbakes down. So I'm just going to use one glue dot on the back of each of them. And I twist them a little bit so when I go to lift them off, I don't rip the cardstock. That's why you saw me do a little twisting there. Okay, I'm gonna turn my snowbanks over and put some glue on the back. Oops. And we're gonna start with the larger one. And let's make sure we don't get glue in that. And it will line up right at the bottom there. it over, make sure, yep, looks good. And then let's pick up this one and put that at the bottom as well. Now, while the glue is still a bit wet, oh, I don't know what I was doing there, I'm gonna tuck some trees under. I'm just gonna scatter them a little bit. I want that under a little bit more, so let's lift that. There we go. Okay, oh, I forgot. I need dimensionals behind my little sentiment as well. And these regular ones just fit. If they didn't, we have mini dimensionals. Okay, so let's take off all these dimensionals on the back of my tractor. It is not going anywhere. Come on. All right. And I'm gonna have it driving up just slightly. You can see how my tire was moving a little bit there. Those dimensionals are gonna hold it in place. So I have mine kind of going up a little bit at an angle, like it's about to drive over a snowbank or a little hill of snow. And I brag about how easy those are, and that one's giving me a hard time. Okay, Season's Greetings will go right about there. And because I don't want my tractor just kind of looking like it's, you know, it's missing something down here, right? I need some shadows from the tires or something to ground that a little bit. Sorry, you hear me opening my blends case. I'm going to use light smoky slate, and I'm going to use the paintbrush tip. And I'm going to take the tip of my blend and I'm going to get it under the tire a little bit there. And I'm just going to give it a little color there so it looks like the tires are grounded on the snow. Can you see that? It's giving me a little bit of a shadow there too. And to finish it off, I didn't put a greeting inside the card because I felt like Season's Greetings on the outside was a nice saying. It didn't really need anything on the inside in my opinion, but of course there's tons of options out there. You can choose a different sentiment for your inside or choose a sentiment for your inside card if you want. And there we go. The card is done. A lot of pieces. I did a lot of the die cutting ahead of time, obviously, but it's such a cute card and I think it's worth it. Here's the other three. I had some, again, left over from my card class. So I hope you liked that. That was my third and last card from the card class last week. And if you're ever interested in card classes, you can send me an email at craftingbreak74@gmail.com. Leave me a message. I've got links on my YouTube channel here where you can sign up, and I do virtual classes and in person. So if you're ever interested, just let me know. We love to get together and have a great time. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.